refugees has Poland taken?
0.
And you're proud of that?
If you are asking me about Muslims illegal immigration, none, not even one, will come to Poland. Not even one if it's illegal. We took over 2 million Ukrainians who are working, who are peaceful in Poland. We will not receive even one Muslim because this is what we promised.
But I asked
this
not about illegal
failed.
immigrants, I asked about refugees. And Jean-Claude Juncker, the Commission President, says that you're racist. You sound proud of the fact that you haven't taken any refugees.
Of course, because this is what our people are expecting from our government. That's number one. This is why our government was elected.
The Polish people exercised their right to self-determination by electing a party that promised to not allow even one member of Islam to enter their beautiful European country. This man represents the Polish people. Representing your people is democratic. Therefore, this Polish member of parliament is democratic.
We have another problem, and that is that we have inside the European Union, inside the European family, a fifth column in on ranks. Let's be honest. I call them the cheerleaders of Putin. Farage, Le Pen, Wilders and others, and the friends of them are sitting here, were in fact doing only one thing. They take the money from the Kremlin, they take the intelligence of the Kremlin, like Mr. Aaron Banks, for example, the friend of Mr. Farage, who was colluded and who helped, in fact, with the help of the Russians, even to have the Brexit. And I think it's time now that these people will work together, in fact, with Mr. Orban, but Mr. Weber has said nothing about Mr. Orban today. That's, I'm a little bit disappointed. It's time that we stop this cooperation with people like Orban, Kaczynski, Salvini, who in fact are working with all these nationalists and this populists.
Guy Verhofstadt demonizes people who are representing a large part of the European population that has been living in Europe for hundreds of years. Wanting to stop working with Italy's Matteo Salvini because the people of Italy exercised their right to self-determination by voting for this candidate shows disrespect towards the decision of the Italian people and therefore towards the concept of democracy itself. Showing disrespect towards the concept of democracy is undemocratic. Therefore, Guy Verhofstadt is undemocratic.
I'm totally against referenda, and I'm totally against referenda on multilateral agreements, because it makes no sense, as we have seen with the Dutch referendum. You cannot, as one country, decide for the whole of Europe whether you want that full European Union to sign an agreement with an outside country. But okay, thanks to the Social Democrats, we have the referendum in the Netherlands, my beloved coalition partners. We have the referendum in the Netherlands. That is the case now, and the referendum led to a disastrous result.
In the Netherlands, the ability for the people to organize a referendum has been abolished by the government, because the people voted in the wrong way during the last couple of referenda. Abolishing the referendum law because you don't like the opinion of the people that vote shows a disdain towards the people and towards their right to self-determination, of which the referendum is a helpful tool. Showing a disdain towards the people and their right to self-determination is undemocratic. Therefore, the current Dutch government is undemocratic.
You use this question of an influx or an invitation or security, whereas really it comes down to something much more simple with your government, doesn't it? When you look at Viktor Orban's words, he's compared immigration to a flu epidemic, he's talked of Muslim invaders, he's talked of Christian Hungary and a mixed population with no sense of identity, and he's called the people coming in potential terrorists. So this isn't actually about immigration, is it? It's about xenophobia.
No, I have to reject that, and I take it as an insult, what you have just said, because we Hungarians, we do have the right, and no one can take that away from us. We have the right to make our own decision, whom we would like to allow
Yeah.
to enter the territory in Hungary and who we do not allow
So
to enter
straight
the
back then,
territory
the
of
people
Hungary.
that you don't want to
No,
come in
just-
are Muslims, is that right?
Just if you can
I
let
just
me
want you
let
to
me
answer
finish.
that if you don't mind,
but
because that
I
goes
would like
straight
to
to the heart
I
of
would
what
like
Viktor
to answer
Orban's
your
saying.
previous question
Yeah.
because that was concluded by a very serious insult
Yeah.
against my country, and I have to reject that again because you know I always have shown respect to everyone who asks me, but I expect respect not for myself because who cares, but for my country and for the people I represent. And calling a country xenophobic, you know, it's an insult, especially if you put into consideration Hungary. And no one can take away the right of decision of us
Muslim
with
invaders.
with whom we would like to live together.
The Hungarian people have the right to self-determination. This man is representing the Hungarian people, who made their preference known by using their right to vote. Representing the Hungarian people by fulfilling their expectations is democratic. This Hungarian man is therefore democratic.
Diversity is now, in some parts of Europe, seen as a threat. Diversity comes with challenges. But diversity is humanity's destiny. There is not going to be, even in the remotest places of this planet, a nation that will not see diversity in its future. That's where humanity is heading. Europe will be diverse. Like all other parts of the world, we be diverse. The only question is, how do we deal with that diversity?
Frans Timmermans has decided that Europe will be diverse, pointing at mass migration of people from totally different cultures and with totally opposing belief systems. Making such important decision while holding a position at an international organization that has a long history of ignoring the results of referenda indicates that he is probably not speaking in the name of the people, who actually should be the ones making such important decisions about their own future by exercising their right to self-determination, such as by voting during a referenda, which they ignore. For this reason, Frans Timmermans is pretending to have a level of democratic legitimacy that he in reality does not have. Pretending to have a level of democratic legitimacy that you in reality do not have is undemocratic, because it shows a disdain towards the people and their right to self-determination. For this reason, Frans Timmermans is undemocratic.
Egy népvándorlással nézünk szembe, amely életünk eddigi rendjét és életmódunkat sodorja veszélybe. Egyszerre kell tehát megvédeni az eredményeinket és harcba szállni azért, hogy egyáltalán legyen értelme folytatni. Életmódunk megóvása nélkül minden értelmét veszti.
Viktor Orban's party Fidesz was elected by the Hungarians with 49% of the votes and is therefore the most important party in the current coalition in Hungary. So now Viktor Orban is fulfilling the promises that he made towards his people, such as no Islamic migrants. Fulfilling these promises is democratic. Therefore, Viktor Orban is democratic.
Ultimo pensiero a quei poveretti, a quei cretini che a Bolzano ancora questa notte hanno scritto su qualche muro "Salvini muori". Ragazzi, state male, fatevi una vita, studiate, lavorate, fatevi una ragazza, un ragazzo, fatevi degli hobby, fate volontariato, coltivate una passione. Ma che testa devi avere per andare su un muro di Bolzano a scrivere "Salvini muori"? A parte che io lo prendo come un buon auspicio. Pensate di farmi paura? Guardate che paura che mi fate. Quindi idioti, mafiosi e scafisti, il mio sorriso lo allargate, guerra senza quartiere. È guerra dei buoni contro i cattivi, degli italiani per bene contro mafiosi, scafisti e terroristi. Per voi in Italia la pacchia è finita.
Italy, the nation state that serves as a vehicle for the right to self-determination of the Italian people, who used their right to vote to elect Matteo Salvini. They elected Salvini because they are sick and tired of being flooded with people from totally different cultures, who make their country, Italy, dirty, unsafe, and represent a danger to the future of their own Italian children and grandchildren. Matteo Salvini has made sure that no more migrant boats will be able to reach Italy. By doing this, he is fulfilling the expectations of the Italian people and is therefore enabling the right to self-determination of the Italian people to function. Fulfilling the expectations of the Italian people is democratic. For this reason, Matteo Salvini is democratic. Politicians like Viktor Orban, Matteo Salvini are not fascists. They are Democrats. Those who claim that there is something wrong with these people or complain about so-called populists are the ones who are not democratic, but instead undemocratic. Great Britain belongs to the British people. Hungary belongs to the Hungarian people. The Netherlands does not belong to some international undemocratic group of people who protect one another and appoint one another. Instead, the Netherlands belongs to the Dutch people. Italy is not owned by the EU, but instead owned by the Italian people. That is why the people whose nation state, which serves as a vehicle for the right to self-determination, is called Italy, are called Italians. And that's why the people whose nation state, which serves as a vehicle for the right to self-determination, has the name Poland, which they received from their forefathers, are called the Polish. Germany, Germans. Austria, Austrians. I feel like I'm stating the obvious here, but that's simply what this video has been about. Stating the obvious, because apparently that which is obvious has been lost. Wherever in Europe or the West as a whole you are located, don't forget that your country, your history, and these beautiful buildings in your country, which are a part of your historic heritage, are yours. And that your representatives, the people you elect by exercising your right to self-determination, by voting during an election, are yours. They are not the representatives of the EU or of some other international group or of Muslim migrants. They are the representatives of you. And if they don't act like they are the representatives of you, get them out of power and elect different people. And don't let anyone tell you that there is anything wrong with that. This is Paul from debatetheleft.com. Thanks for watching this video. Don't forget to subscribe and see you next time.